Would you like to learn how to make cheese out of bok choy? Keep watching! Hi, I'm Stacy and welcome to Real World AIP. Today I'm going to be making bok choy cheese. As far as I know, I made this up. I did get the idea from all the people that make zucchini cheese, but I thought, how about if I use bok choy to make this instead? So I'm going to show you how I do it. Also, by the way, this is like adult bok choy. You can use baby bok choy too. So I'm going to rinse these and I'm going to separate these white stems from the green leafy parts, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so what we're left with is exactly 1 pound, 16 ounces of the stems, which, you know, kind of just looks like that. There's a little bit of green stuff left on there. It's no big deal. So now I'm just going to take these and I'm going to lay them on a broiler pan. Single layer. And then I'm just going to add some extra virgin olive oil and some salt, just like you were oven roasting anything else. I'm also going to put some onions on here so they can roast right along with the bok choy stems. About a half a cup, you know, just drizzle some over there. Now I'm going to put these in my toaster oven at 450 degrees. And I will let you know how long it took. I just want them to get nice and toasty and roasted and maybe a little caramelized with the onion there. So I'll let you know how long it took after it's ready. So it's been 24 minutes and I mean, I'm gonna flip them and I'm gonna have to go a little longer. So 25 minutes flip. Also helpful tip, put the onions underneath the bok choy. I burned some of mine to a crisp because I had thrown them all on top, and the onions cook faster than the bok choy, so put them underneath. 38 minutes later, I finally have what I want to work with. Let's take a closer look at this. So this is what you want your bok choy to look like. Now, because we roasted it for so long, some of the moisture has been removed. It's got this nice golden color that's going to give it some yummy flavor, and the onions that, you know, I didn't burn are down here with a nice caramelized flavor as well. So at this point you can continue on making the recipe, or you can stick these in the fridge and finish when you have time, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick these in the fridge and I'm going to come back and show you how I turned this into cheese. So I've had the bok choy and the onions in the fridge for a couple days. Now I'm just going to add this to my Ninja with a couple more ingredients, and then I'm going to show you how I mold it to make like cool cheese slices. So to my Ninja, I'm putting that that's about a cup, maybe 1 1/4. Anyway, I'm putting my roasted bok choy stems and caramelized onion in here. And then to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. I like salt. Someone commented on my last cheese recipe that it was salty to their taste on one of the Facebook forums. So, I mean, maybe start with a half a teaspoon. You know, you can always salt your food after you put the cheese on it. Anyway, for me, it's going to be a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt, and then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of garlic granules, and then I'm going to add the juice of 2 juicy lemon wedges. So you could go 3 if you don't have a juicy lemon. Now this is where it gets a little different than the than my cheese shreds, because I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of oil into this. Where my cheese shreds were like pure oil, this is going to be more water. The bok choy is going to provide the bulk. We're just going to add a little oil for creaminess. I'm using medium chain triglyceride oil. You can use any liquid oil. About 2 tablespoons. Let's go ahead and blend this up. Okay, so we have this all blended up. Now I'm boiling a half a cup of water. So we're going to add our gelatin to the water and then put that in here. So where this is much different from my other cheese recipe is that this has a lot less calories in it, has a lot less fat in it. Not that fat is bad, you know, it's just got the 2 tablespoons of oil. The bulk of this is going to be made up of water and the bok choy stems, the gelatin holding it all together. It's still gonna have an awesome cheese flavor. One really cool thing about this recipe is that you can do, you know, roasted bok choy, you can add your onions in there, you can use caramelized fennel. A lot of people do this with zucchini, but you don't have to stop there. Somebody's doing it, I have a link to who, I'm gonna have to Google it, but somebody's doing it with butternut squash puree, or butternut squash, and I mean, her cheese is like the perfect cheddar cheese color. You can add nutritional yeast, but just be careful with the nutritional yeast if you have celiac or are gluten intolerant, because it can cross-react with gluten, like some of the proteins and yeasts like brewer's yeast, baker's yeast, and nutritional yeast, I confirmed on the paleomom.com, can cross-react with people with gluten sensitivity. I'm one of those people. Let's take our packet of gelatin, which is, I'm using the Knox stuff. I'm using this. No, it's not from pasture-raised beef. Here's the deal. That Great Lakes gelatin in the red can, it works beautifully, and it's from a healthy source, but it bothers my stomach. I used to make myself, pre-AIP, I used to use the Knox stuff all the time to make myself like cheesecakes and apple pies and things that held together, and I never had a problem with it. My stomach was fine. So I'm kind of, and then that last batch of creamy cheese I made, I actually had to throw it away, even though it was delicious. Oh, my stomach, I can't use that Great Lakes stuff. I'm going to experiment with using the Knox today just to see if, for whatever reason, this doesn't bother me. This is a risky experiment. There may be no more gelatin videos in the future, I'll let you know. But yeah, here we go. Our water's boiling. So here's a half a cup of water. Yes, it is stained brown because I used the pan I heat my coffee in. To this half a cup of water, I'm going to add one of these Knox packets, which is equivalent, if you're using the Great Lakes, to 2.5 teaspoons, or 7.33 grams. As soon as you get it in there, you want to mix it really fast because you don't want it forming lumps. We're gonna add the gelatin to this mix we have in the Ninja. At this point, if you want to get fancy, you could add some parsley flakes, you could add some, you know, fresh diced arugula, diced, I don't know, you can, fresh minced arugula, any kind of herbs, basil. You could put some turmeric in there to give it a more cheese color. That's fine for me. That's good enough just like this. So now I'm going to show you how we make it into like a little like Cracker Barrel cheese shaped thing. Mini muffin pans. Aren't these cute? It fits into one pan perfectly. And I love how it fits in the Ninja perfectly too. So I don't have to do more than one batch. Alright, and then you just stick this in the fridge and you know, wait for it to turn into cheese. I'll tell you how many hours after it's done. Alright, so my Bok Choy cheese has been in the fridge for an hour and a half. It's nice and firm. Let's take it out of this and slice up some cheese. Alright, I was a little impatient. I could have left this in a little longer, but whatever. So here is a beautiful log of cheese that is going to continue to solidify. You know, if I can have patience, let's slice it. Oh my goodness. So, oh, it's like a soft, spreadable cheese. Oh my. This is good. This is very extremely delicious. So there you have it. There's a block of cheese. Get creative, put some herbs in there, add some turmeric for color. This is about as soft as I would want it. You put a little more gelatin in here, I mean, this holds together, but you're not getting the cheddar like slices out of this. I'd say go 2 tablespoons, man. Just go heavy on it. 2 tablespoons and you get your cheddar cheese. But maybe this needs a little more time. I gave it an hour and a half. Anyway, I almost like this more than the cheese shred. Well, no, they're both good. They both have their place. They both have their place. But I love the shape of this. Anyway, I hope you like this. And let me know what variations you make, or if you try it with more gelatin, let me know how it comes out. Anyway, enjoy. If you like the video, subscribe below. I post every Thursday. Hope to see you soon. And until then, be healthy.